1988, interest in the sport has boomed to become the 5th largest participant sport in Australia, with over 180,000 men and women and over 650,000 school children Australia-wide actively taking part in competition. This event, held on Queensland's fabulous Gold Coast, has attracted over 3,500 players and over 200 referees to Australia's ultimate prize in touch, the Foster's Australian National Touch Championships. Well, the game's underway, and it's the Maroons on the right, running from right to left with a strong southerly breeze at their back, just taking the ball up the centre. And now we have a division of players here with the first girl taking the ball up, number 1, into links, centres and wingers. And perhaps you'd like to explain why that is.
Certainly the wingers, and you'll notice that the ladies are positioned on the wing. They play like a normal league or union wingers role. Their object is to usually very quick girls, so they pace-wise, they just take the ball and ruck the ball forward. Our link players, very exciting players. There's Sam Ayub from New South Wales, just made a touch. Very exciting, very fast, usually good steppers. Don't quite have the ball skills of our middle players. And there's the New South Wales captain, Simmons, taking the ball up, and another centre player.
One of the things about touch, of course, is the speed of recovery. And if a player is up inside the 5 as the ball is rolled back at the roll ball, then it's a penalty. And there's Sam Ayub losing the ball. So the changeover goes back through number 1 for Queensland, Alison Little. Coming in's Norford. Queensland working the ball up to the 10-metre line inside their own territory. You see the tremendous fitness of these players. Anne-Marie Purdy playing the ball back now. 4 guys, 3 girls in each team over the halfway line. Queensland on the burst now. And that's going to be a changeover. 6 touches. Sam Ayub plays it back. Tracy Arnott going the link, number 7 for the Blues. Ayub. It's Simmons. Inside 30 metres now. No Blues on this side at all. Ayub again has lost the ball. And it seems to me at this kind of touch, Mike, that it's ball control rather than individual brilliance.
Certainly in the early stages, very much ball control. The very, very basics win this sort of competition.
Quick hands from the Maroons here, good play.
You'll notice the Maroons rucking the ball very well. They're going forward, moving themselves into a position where they can set up to score.
Tony Douglas instrumental there, number 10, in a couple of moves. Last touch now. Can the Maroons score? No, there's been a fumble by number 2, Anne-Marie Purdy, and so that's the changeover. It's been a little bit of nerves, perhaps, here in the final. Tremendous support from both camps. We've got 3,500 competitors here and lots of supporters. So the other night, we had 10,000 people watch Queensland play New South Wales on a Tuesday night at Owen Park. That shows the interest in the game. Now it's the Blues over the halfway. But what was that one for, Jen?
Acting half court.
Acting half can't run with the ball. If he does run with it and is touched, it's a changeover. So Queensland back up to the halfway line. Menna Hoshin. That's Mick Hunter, number 9. Mia Noshin. Mia Noshin looking inside. The idea was good, but the support, Mick Hunter, number 9, couldn't handle the ball. So the Blues have it again. Through Tracy Arnott, the blonde-haired number 7. Nice little darting run from Glenn Haslam. Arnott again. About 8 metres inside her own half. No scorers yet in this open mixed final. As Sam Ayub takes it over the halfway line for the Blues. Starting to combine a bit better now, but there's a bad roll ball, and Queensland have it. No side really getting on top at the moment. We saw New South Wales win the over-40s final convincingly a moment ago. And here's a promising move building up for the Maroons if they can capitalise on the early couple of players. Creating an overlap, working it back into the middle again, but a mix-up between Douglas and Weigman. And it goes back to New South Wales. Of course, the referees, Judy, have to be right on the spot. They've got to be very fit too. How much actual training do they have to do?
Most of them referee their competitions. You're looking at 3 or 4 nights a week, plus personal training. So they do have to be very fit.
Julie Mazzarella with the grey hair, playing the ball back. The Blues on the attack over the halfway line. A solid touch as Ray Kiley hits the ground. gone off the field, been replaced. Now, I imagine that, Mike, we have girls replacing girls and vice versa. Is that right?
Certainly, yes. So in this situation, we've got 14 players in the squad.
Here's a go. Here could be a try. It looks like a score. Yes, it is a score. A great break there made by Steve Sutton, and got the ball back brilliantly inside to his teammate. And it's a girl who scores. It's Stacey Gregory. Let's have a look at it again. It was the run initially by number 11, Steve Sutton, after that quick roll ball by Stacey Gregory. And perhaps you'd like to go through it for us, Mike.
Yes, he's started off from acting half, so in that position he's not able to score. You'll notice he's gone over the score line. Now he's looked inside to Stacey Gregory, a very, very good touch player, backing up on the inside.
Because he was the acting half, he couldn't score, so he had to get rid of it.
That's exactly right.
Right, so 1-0 to New South Wales. Some great play there, particularly by Stacey Gregory. Started it and finished it. So can the Maroons hit back? New South Wales have dominated this competition. Maroons in possession, 10 metres out. Ball played quickly by Mick Hunter. Goes across to Eddie Wiegman. Looking on the inside, he finds Keith Trineri. Using Anne-Marie Purdy. Out wide. And the referee's whistle goes for what looked like a forward pass.
Late pass, Peter.
Late pass. Been touched first.
Been touched first and then offloading the pass.
Well, at this stage, it looks like New South Wales are on top, generally speaking, Mike.
Oh, they seem to have good control of the play at the moment.
The thing about this game that strikes me, as opposed to the game that you or I might play in the park, is the teamwork. Tremendous understanding and combination, not so much individual brilliance. Ayub gets the ball back. Good run-on play by Dean Russell. Here's Ayub again. The 10 metres inside Queensland's half. And that's a changeover. Well, we haven't seen Queensland score in the over 40s final, and they've yet to score in this game. It'd be great to see for their supporters if they can get a touchdown. Change over to New South Wales on the halfway line. Because these girls have to be really fit, don't they, to keep up with the guys?
Certainly do, and both Queensland and New South Wales girls are very fit.
How much training would they do?
Oh, the New South Wales team would have had probably 2 or 3 months preparation for the tournament, whereas Queensland would have only had a 2 or 3 day camp.
Here's a go in centre field. A nice break made by number 10, Gary Simmons. There's Simmons again, feeding it wide to Stacey Gregory. The roll ball by Gregory. Back to Ayub. Inside, he finds Glenn Richards. And Gregory has muffed it. So the changeover. The Maroons come away with it now. Down 1-0 in this open mixed final. Not quite the sharpness in teamwork there, I detect, from Queensland. They're a little bit nonplussed at the moment. Nice pass down the touchline. Rosemary Nelson's caught. 5 metres inside New South Wales territory. That's Keith Trineri. An extra hard shove. And would you say that that is a penalty because of that, Judy? Too hard?
Yes, it was definitely an over physical touch.
Quick roll ball. Comes back to Nielsen. Away to Douglas. And a poor pass. Very low. Nielsen couldn't handle it. Blues ball.
Inside the 5 metres.
Blues capitalise quickly. Good quick play. Vicky Campbell very quick with her roll ball. She's playing the ball back almost before she's touched. 5 metres.
Same thing again, Peter. Not going back to the mark.
Of course, it's a factor of fatigue too, isn't it? Towards the end of the game.
That's right. And Blues will capitalise on that. Just keep pushing them backwards.
There goes Simmons running wide. Inside finds Gregory, back to Simmons, and Gregory's picked up the ball. Look for support outside. Beautiful pass.
No, he's called the touch on her.
He has called the touch right on the line. Well, the idea was good. Had to go back the 10 metres, did they?
It is an option.
So it gives them a little bit more room to work in. But gee, that looked like it was almost a touchdown. We saw once again Stacey Gregory combining with Simmons, and Gary Simmons going over, but the touch call. Blues on the top at the moment, Mike?
Oh, certainly more fluent in their play. You'll notice the roll ball, very, very good. and nice and calm and relaxed. Yet they're still making a lot of yardage.
The centre is very important in that, keeping the side calm and organising.
Certainly is. You'll notice the guys in the middle there now just nice and relaxed, just taking the ball forward.
Well, it didn't look like there was a touch there, but Nazarella has been touched, apparently. Quick roll ball. Haslam has it, and penalty going Queensland's way. What was that one for, Jed?
The indication of the signal is that he used his shoulder to effect a touch.
10 minutes gone in this open mixed final, and it's New South Wales leading Queensland 1-0. So far, it's been all the Blues. Queensland have had their chances, but they've got a little bit excitable or over-eager. Let's see if they can control the ball for 6 now. 10 metres inside the Blues half. This is better play. Mia Noshin, number 7, over on the side, has lost the ball. 10-metre touch to New South Wales. Just taking it up, nice and calm. Number 2 for New South Wales, Stacey Gregory. He's featuring almost as much as the men. Back it comes. There's Ayub. He's got support out wide. Glenn Haslam. Working it with a 1-2 with Steve Sutton. Just couldn't quite do it. The idea was good.
Certainly was. They're very good on the blind side. You'll notice New South Wales used the blind side very, very effectively.
Taking up Straneri for Queensland. Back to Mina Hoshin. Nice little run from Ann Pettit, blonde. Almost up to halfway. The Maroons down 1-0. Oh, she's left it behind. Ann Pettit. Changeover going to the Blues. Ayub. Out wide to Haslam. Haslam, beautiful pass. Almost put the winger away in Ray Kiley. This is Gregory. Just takes the touch. Settling the play down through the hands of Haslam. Out to Mazzarella. Richards. Richards the dummy. There's a gap out wide. Richards could score. No, a great diving touch made right on the far side by the Queensland winger. Tremendous dive by, I think it might have been Barbrovich on the far side. So Queensland have it. Mick Hunter takes it up. Quick roll ball. Goes through the hands of Brett Yates. Good run by Purdy. 10 metres short of halfway. Douglas. And there's a changeover going to the Blues.
Another late pass, Peter.
Blues leading 1-0. 25 minutes each way in this open mixed final. The sun coming out. The heat's on down there at the moment. Pettis plays it back. Douglas. Purdy. Hunter. Whistle goes. What was that one for?
The defending players run through the rough between the person roll balling and the acting half.
So the Blues just take it up. Simmons settles it. Quick play of the ball. Comes out to Gary Simmons. Nice step. Has support on both sides. Decides to just take the tap. 5 metres out from the line now. New South Wales lead 1-0 and almost Stacey Gregory going through. Clever little shimmy there. Roll ball. Comes back to Dean Russell. Russell finds support in Steve Sutton. Final touch now. Simmons. And eventually the touch made. So that's a changeover. Queensland getting it just when it looked dangerous.
Queensland under a little bit of pressure at the moment. They don't seem to be able to move out of their own half. It's a situation they need to rectify very, very quickly.
Pettis comes in, takes it up. Almost to halfway. Much better pattern of attack from the Queenslanders. The quick darting run and the quick roll ball. Sometimes catching the defence snapping offside. Pettis, nice little run around. Worked with Michael Barbrovich. Pettis back inside. Barbrovich just takes the touch. Through Pettis to Purdy. Out to Douglas. Douglas plays it back. A good run from Barbrovich. He's only a metre or so out, but no. This is Minahoshin. Barbrovich, Minahoshin. Little dummy. Barbrovic. Nice little individual run, but couldn't find support. Created the half gap. Here's the chance. Over the line is the dummy half. The acting half gets it back, but he's touched as he got the ball. Meonoshin. Well, that was a great piece of play by Queensland, but not quite.
Queensland set it up very, very well there. Pity they couldn't finish it off. That was a touchdown lost, I think.
Meonoshin's injured behind the scoreline, so he'll be replaced. And meanwhile, it's Ayub bringing it up for the Blues. Nielsen turning it back inside. They're 10 metres short of halfway. They lead 1-0 in this mixed open final. Ayub darting up the centre. Clever running from the centre there. 8 metres inside Queensland half, and this is the final touch. Ayub's touched. Well, the pace really starts to tell now in the closing stages of this first half. It's pretty hot down there at the moment. The pace has been a cracker. Queensland over halfway. Deb Hinton on in number 3. Eddie Weigman, number 11. Blues ball. 5 metres short of halfway. Haslam. Ayub back to Haslam. He's touched. And that's change over. Couple of reinforcements coming on for Queensland as it's played back by Rosemary Nielsen. Touched is Brett Yates. This is Mike Norford. Norford's about 8 metres inside Blues half now. Trineri touched. Queensland having trouble finishing off. They've done some good lead-up work, but they just haven't quite got the polish near the line. Norford. Blues ball. Ayub and Haslam settling the play up the centre. Mazzarella. Haslam. Richards. Over halfway now. Out on the wing it comes to Lockhead. Kath Lockhead plays it. Very close to touch. And that's the changeover to Queensland. 10-metre penalty.
10-metre penalty for not putting the ball down immediately.
Well, she not only put the ball down, she put her opposition down there.
Yes. Been penalised for going through your player.
A bit over-aggressive from number 3, Deb Hinton, on the halfway line. The Blues lead 1-0. Haslam, Richards, Gregory, Haslam, Ayub, Gregory, back to Ayub, darts through a gap, he's through the gap and he's over, but touched. Oh, must have only just been a touch from number 5, Susan Cole. That was a great touch by her.
A very, very good touch. The girls competing very well.
Sam Ayub looked like he was home and hosed there for a touchdown. Here's a bit of pace on the right flank by Mark Norford, but the cover's good. Short of halfway. Blues leading 1-0 in the mixed open final here at Carrara. Queensland 5 metres inside their own half. Yates taking it up, turning it back inside. Trineri finds Hinton. Couldn't control the pass. That's been the story a lot of the time, hasn't it?
Certainly has. They're creating the gaps, but just can't seem to finish it off.
Number 12 is Colleen Dunk, having a run for the Blues. Gregory. Dunk comes in at acting half, scoops it up. Simmons back to Dunk. 10 metres out. This is great play on football, but they've lost it now. It's Queensland ball. Must be a penalty. Queensland's way against Simmons. Meonoshin over halfway. Meonoshin, Little playing it. Looking a bit wary, the Maroons. There's not the same sharpness, although they're controlling the ball a bit better now.
They don't seem to have what it's going to take to score, I don't think, at the moment.
Certainly a lot more vigour about the New South Wales play. And terrific steadiness in the centre there. Playing a good game, this Gregory. Stacey Gregory, number 2. Gary Simmons, number 10. And there's Ayub, and Ayub's darted through the centre. He's found the support, but the pass going to ground.
They'll get 6 more touches. It was knocked down in flight.
So 6 to go for the Blues. No, yes, you're right there, Judy. So Queensland really stretched. They're down 1-0. Can the Blues make it 2-0? Simmons. The step, the dummy. Quick play the ball. Richards and Simmons. He's over the scoreline but can't get the pass to a teammate. Saw Russell there, but it was a wild one-handed pass. 5 minutes before half-time, and New South Wales lead Queensland 1-0 in the mixed open final. Well, that was close, but it certainly has been the story of the game so far, Mike.
Certainly. I think that was an opportunity lost by New South Wales. A couple of opportunities to score. Hopefully Queensland can get back into this game.
Good run by Rosemary Nielsen, number 6 for Queensland, taking it about 15 metres upfield. From the roll ball, this is Menahoshin. He's got support in Mick Hunter. Goes out wide and pays the penalty. Had Deb Hinton outside him, number 3, but the pass was too hard over the sideline. A couple of new players on now for New South Wales. Mazzarella takes it to halfway. Quick play the ball. Richards back to Mazzarella. There's Russell. This is great teamwork. Simmons in the middle. They're only 10 metres out. Queensland are stretched. And that's 6. So good defence by the Maroons. Queensland ball. Played by Brett Yates. Through Trineri. Pettis comes in. The girls seem to play just as important a role as the guys. And this girl's got plenty of pace. Number 2, look at Anne-Marie Purdy. Couldn't get away, though, on halfway. Yates. Menahoshin. Yates again. Working with Douglas. But that's the changeover. About 20 metres out from the Blues line. Russell running in with it one-handed. Richards. The speed of their play and the pattern of the Blues play is just bewildering, isn't it? You see why Queensland are having problems.
It's just never-ending New South Wales play. They'll just keep coming, keep coming.
This is Ron Hammond. He's only come on, hasn't made a great start to his final. Ronnie Hammond. It's only been on for a minute or two. So it's Maroon ball. A couple of minutes till half-time. Pettis. Susan Cole. Up to halfway. Mick Hunter. Menahoshin. And it was Cole's ball, but she couldn't control it. So the ball will go to New South Wales. Mazzarella. Haslam. Mazzarella again at the roll ball. Winger comes in, makes a good, strong run, or the centre, I should say, the link man, number 5. I'll work it out eventually. They do tend to stay on the wings, the wingers, but the others can rove around as much as they like, can they?
They tend to be like rovers in Australian rules, so they tend to appear anywhere, usually where you don't want them if you're defending them.
Well, that's the idea, I suppose. And if I was playing against the girls, I suppose you'd try and manoeuvre the guys against a girl, as we saw with the first touchdown scored by New South Wales.
Certainly, it's at this national level, it's an opportunity. You only get 1 or 2 opportunities during each half. The girls are just that good in defence, but you've got to take the opportunities when they arise.
So it's a changeover, and Pettis losing possession. Hammond, Haslam, number 8's Kathy Lockhead, inside Queensland territory by 10. Working the blind side. They're about 15 out now. There's a penalty, 10-metre penalty. So Steve Sutton takes it up. Hammond, Haslam, trying to position Lockhead, the winger. And that's 6. Trineri, Yates, Little. Brett Yates to play it. Little, Yates. Trineri, they just can't seem to find the gaps. Trying everything they can, but New South Wales defence absolutely watertight. That's the halfway line. Yates, quick hands. That's some great play, but unfortunately, Little in the middle couldn't, well, she was too little.
Very small girl, but very, very good touch by her.
So the Blues lead 1-0, just a few minutes before half-time. And they've looked threatening. I wonder if they can make it 2-0 going into the break. Haslam. There's the siren. And the whistle goes, so that at half-time, New South Wales lead Queensland 1-0 in the open mixed final. So New South Wales lead 1-0. It might not seem like a big lead, but the way this game's been played, the defence is so good that it's going to be very hard for either team to score more than 3 or 4 touchdowns. But let's see if Queensland can get back into it in the second half. Steve Sutton in possession. Bit of support for the Blues here. So about 10 metres out. Dean Russell, number 3. And there's a changeover to Queensland. Judy, you might like to explain the reasons. I know after 6 touches, the ball changes hands. Why else? What other reason is there?
Well, in that situation there,
Well,
change
generally.
over because of a penalty for offside. Any sort of fumbles gives you an opportunity for the other team to get the ball.
Well, Queensland have made an inroad here. They've gained about 40 metres in space of 2 touches. Let's see if they can finish off. Their problem in the first half was that they did the early lead-up work okay, but they didn't have the control when it came to the crisis. Here's a good run. They're over the scoreline, but is it a touchdown? I don't think so.
Yes,
it is.
No, he's changed his mind.
Well,
He's
gee,
come
I
out.
thought for a minute he was looking across to his line judge, as they do in rugby league, to get the okay, but the line judge indicated he was touched in midair, so very near thing by Brett Yates. Great try. Attempt, I should say. The term here is touchdown, not try as we have in rugby league. And only 1 touchdown so far has been made, that by Stacey Gregory for New South Wales. Now remember, there's a blustery southeasterly breeze behind the Blues, who are coming from right to left as you're watching this second half. And that'll be a big advantage. Cole plays it for Queensland. Mia Noshin, a 1-2 with Cole. Trineri. There's nobody out there. There's only 1 or 2 covering 30 metres for the Maroons. So Mia Noshin takes it back to the centre of the field to Cole. Mia Noshin. Little flick. No, almost. Thought he was going to do a flick pass, but decided against it. Cole, Trineri anticipated that Cole would come round him, and she didn't.
I think a lack of communication there.
This girl's impressed me, Gregory. She's in everything. Fit as a fiddle. Number 7 for the Blues. Scored the first touchdown. Oh, Arnott, I should say. Tracy Arnott's on number 7, but she's very similar to Gregory, who's having a bit of a breather at the moment. And Stacey Gregory, number 2, has been the one who's been outstanding in the first half. How often do they change them over, Mike?
For the middle players, you're looking probably every set of 18, 24 touches, you'll have to change. The pace is just too hectic in the middle.
So whenever you feel like it, more or less. You just put your hand up, do you?
Certainly nominate, yeah. You indicate to the person you're changing with just by raising your hand.
Does the manager or coach decide, or is it up to your interchange, your buddy?
A lot of coaches will leave it to the buddies to work it out. They know best themselves when they're tired and when they can't perform.
Hanoshin trying to jig his way through, but no gaps there. Trineri, Mianoshin, the flick pass. Well, there's 3 on 3, so they're not going to get through there. Great defence, Simmons in particular. Here's a gap. Mianoshin again with that flick pass. I think he's getting a bit carried away with it. He's thrown 3 in a row. It's Queensland's ball. Barbrovic claps on the pace, tries to get round the girl marking him, Mazzarella, but she did the job well. Just goes to show that the girls are equal to the men in defence. She was going up to try and touch the guy. Mianoshin. Quick play the ball to Barbrovic. Mianoshin almost over the line. Gets it back. Yes, it's a touchdown, I think. No. Well, what happened there, Jude?
Referee's given a penalty for offside. Obviously, he hadn't called the player out, and he can't call play on unless he's called the player back to the 5-metre mark.
Near thing for Queensland. They're down 1-0. Little. Barbrovich. Mianoshin. Flick back inside. Good hands. Little plays it quickly. Out wide. Back inside to Little. That's a touchdown. Alison Little's over, but we'll wait for the referee's signal.
Going to award it.
Yes, you're guilty. 1-1.
Excellent play by the Queensland girl. Excellent backing up on the inside. New South Wales just too slow to cover.
Well, the run was made by Anthony Douglas. Beautiful pass back inside. Opened up the gap, and Alison Little went through. Thank you very much for the equaliser. So what's happened here, Mike? Suddenly the game's changed.
Certainly should spark New South Wales into some action. They've been very, very lethargic at the start of the second half.
Here's a go. Gregory, the girl I was talking about, Stacey Gregory, who looks a bit like the other girl, Tracy Arnott. But number 2 is the girl who's been outstanding. Oh, there's a wild pass. Bad hands. Poor Kathy Lockhead couldn't pull that one down, so there's the changeover. Remember that Queensland have got this breeze in their faces in the second half. And interesting that the girls have scored both the touchdowns. Stacey Gregory for New South Wales, Alison Little for Queensland. Almost up to halfway. Trineri, Keith Trineri clapping on the pace. He's away. He could score. He's in. What a great touchdown and what a turnabout in this game. Keith Trineri has gone berserk.
Excellent touchdown. Great individual work. I think you'll find that the New South Wales player did slip.
Well, there it is. He's on the ground. I think it was Dean Russell who missed his man, but as you say, he slipped over. Yeah, that was a terrific run. That's the longest break we've seen in the game so far. 2-1. Queensland could be an upset. That would be a huge upset, wouldn't it?
Huge upset in this competition.
But can they maintain it? New South Wales very well drilled. Hammond throws the dummy. He's got Haslam. Haslam's got 2-on-1, but the pass very well intercepted by number 11, Eddie Wiegman. Knocked it down. Blues retain possession. Hammond. Mazzarella. Bit of a dummy and a weave. She's a cool customer. Julie Mazzarella plays it. Haslam. Sucking in the defenders. Back to Ron Hammond. Just working around, probing for the gap. Dummy scissors. Haslam goes out wide, links up with Vicky Campbell on the wing. And there's almost a touchdown. Ron, at least that's Glenn Richards, but he's been touched in midair. They go so close to scoring so often.
Certainly do. It's a very, very desperate defence that's only saved a number of touchdowns.
So they'll be sucking in the big ones after that. Some hard defence by Queensland, who's now taking the ball out. Mianoshin, Trineri, the touchdown scorer.
You can certainly see Queensland's confidence has grown enormously with that touchdown.
Does confidence play much of a part?
Certainly does. New South Wales always have a psychological advantage in this division, in that they've been so dominant over the last 3 years. Queensland
in fact,
looking...
if you look overall at the whole touch championships since they began in 1980, there's only 3 titles in 7 divisions that haven't been won by New South Wales.
Yeah, certainly very, very strong state.
Here's a good run by Glenn Richards, but crabbing across field, and you have to straighten up sometime. Last touch. Gregory. Oh, the little runaround was the one she was looking for. But the player with her just didn't read it. So Queensland bring it out. Rosemary Nielsen, number 6. Good touch made by Arnott. Norford. Yates. Back to Mark Norford. That's the halfway line. Brett Yates and Mark Norford playing a little 1-2. Anthony Douglas. Touched in flight. So it'll be 6 to go. Is that right, Jed?
That's right, yes.
Alison Little. Queensland going from the acting half position turned it back inside. What happened there?
Nobody there to take the pass.
So it's just a straight changeover.
Just straight change over.
So can the Blues come back? Ray Kiley taking it up 5. Gee, Gary Simmons has worked hard. Number 10, Ayub, he's the danger man. He's got heaps of pace, but a good touch made by Brett Yates. Desperate cover defence. Number 12, it's Colleen Dunk. Hasn't had a lot to do so far. Nice little inroad there. Half gap made by Ray Kiley. Couldn't combine with Ayub. Little Sam lost it. And so Queensland leading 2-1 in the mixed open final after 10 minutes of play, second half.
This will certainly test New South Wales, their whole composure. They've never been behind in the national championships ever in the 3 years in the mixed division. So a very, very different situation for them.
A couple of pretty flat passes from the Queenslanders there, but we'll let them get away with it. Quick roll ball, and it was a pretty shonky sort of a roll ball, I think, wasn't it, Judy?
He actually roll balled without affecting a touch.
Right. Eddie Wiegman it was for Queensland. Simmons takes it up. Gary Simmons, he's Mr. Perpetual Motion for the Blues.
The pass was forward.
Forward pass, it's change over. The wingers stay right on the touchline, Mike. I noticed. Is their duty to stay there right on the sideline?
Yes, certainly is in an attempt to give their link players a little bit more room. They're very, very exciting players. You'll know the guys with the pace. So just to give them a little bit more room to try things.
Trineri, close to going over. Oh, fingertip pass there was a little bit over-ambitious. Couldn't be pulled in by Anne-Marie Purdy, number 2.
A number of the New South Wales players seem to be slipping over quite regularly.
Yeah, I was looking at the shoes. They're all wearing the same grass sport Dunlops. Are those standard throughout the sport?
Yes.
Here's a good run. A great run. This is Simmons. Simmons has found support on the inside and steaming away is Steve Sutton. And Steve Sutton goes in for a beauty. That's the equaliser. What great teamwork and well-deserved. I thought, no touchdown. Well, what was the ruling there?
He's claimed a touch.
Gee,
substitution
like
just being made there.
That was great defence by Queensland. I thought that was a touchdown for all money. Here we go. Here's the replay. Have a look at this. You'd like to go through it for us?
Yes, he's coming in. The defenders claimed the touch there. It didn't appear that a touch had been made. So
well, it had to be Trineri, the guy with the crew cut, the try scorer, who scored the previous touchdown with the Queenslanders. He claimed the touch himself, did he? And is it up to him to claim it and then for the referee to confirm it?
Originally, it looked like the referee had claimed a no touch, but on his touch judge's decision, he's gone back and claimed the touch has been counted. Very controversial decision.
Well, Judy, as Director of New South Wales Referees, how do you read that?
What Michael said's correct. The referee looked as though he was going to award the touchdown, and then he's looked to his line judge who stayed short. And after consultation, they've decided that it was a touch, but it did look like it was a miss. Yeah, well, the camera looked to us as if it was a miss, and the referees went the other way, but that's the game. It's controversial. It's 2-1 to Queensland at the moment, and a big boil over in the making. Simmons has been outstanding. He's number 10, the man with the ball now. Quick roll ball from him, been muffed by his teammate. And so there's the changeover, not back quick enough. There's a bit of chat going on, I think, from number 3, Dean Russell. So the penalty for another 10 metres. Quick play the ball. Cole. Mianoshin. Cole. Pettis. 10 metres out. Quick roll ball again. Queensland looking good here. If they can make it 3-1, that would just about clinch it. Here's a change with Alison Little coming on. Mianoshin's got Little there. There's a gap, and Mianoshin almost put Little through. That was 6. So the Blues now have the hard work, getting the ball out. Simmons, Ayub. Simmons doubles around Sutton. Ayub takes it up. Settler. Ayub claps on the pace. They've got an overlap if the pass could go to hand. It doesn't. Kathy Lockhead couldn't control the pass from Sam Ayub. He's got some pace, that fella.
Certainly has. Very, very quick.
It's the name of the game. Trineri, he's got a bit of pace himself. Pettis hits the ball nicely. 10 minutes to go till full time. Trineri down the sideline. Ball knocked down by the hand of number 5. That's Ray Kiley. 6 to go for Queensland. Queensland lead 2-1 in the mixed open final. This could be an upset. New South Wales have never been beaten, never even been led in a final in the 3 years that this division has been contested. Little dummy from Yates throws a long cutout pass to Pettis. Wiegman rolls it back for Douglas. Douglas over the scoreline, but through a wild pass. Blues ball. What do you reckon, Mike?
I think New South Wales don't score in the next couple of minutes. I think it's all over.
Well, it's strange because in the first half it was all the Blues. They should
dominant.
probably have led by 3. A little over-vigorous, I'd say, from Deb Hinton. She's been penalised twice for that. Good play from Ray Kiley. Just taking the ball up with control. Inside Queensland's half, Haslam. Gregory slipped over. Still got the pass away. Kiley. Both teams very tired now. This is where the game comes down to guts and stamina. Nice pass out wide to Campbell. Last touch. Haslam doubling round. Simmons is touched. Changeover.
Queensland defence just too good on that occasion.
Queensland seem to have new life since they've hit the front. Trineri. Mianoshin and Trineri working well together. Taking it up well is Eddie Wiegman. That's one of the skills, isn't it? Reading your teammate about to be touched and hitting the pass at the right time, keeping the momentum going.
Certainly, yeah, the timing's very, very important in this game. So New South Wales timing's gone right out in the second half for some reason. And as soon as they get that back, they'll be right.
I wonder if it's the heat. It's fairly warm, but I suppose in New South Wales you play in warm conditions as well.
Certainly do.
Haslam, Hammond. Gregory. Richards. Hammond, Haslam. Little dummy pass, out wide to the wing, hard pass. Dickie Campbell came in, the ball hit a chest. So it's Maroon ball. Good weaving run by Wiegman. Beat one. A lot of the players are slipping over. Over halfway, Brett Yates. Good speed, nice covering tackle by Haslam. Yates throwing a beautiful ball, but the whistle's gone. And Yates takes a breather. Queensland really can afford to close it up a bit, I suppose.
Certainly can. I think they're running the ball out, just trying to use up time now.
Well, we could start this telecast with a big boil over. The way it's shaping at the moment, Queensland could cause the first upset. Long pass from Russell out to Haslam. Ayoub's there. He's the danger man. And he's certainly been touched. And the referee calling out a Queenslander for an over-vigorous touch.
He's given him time.
So there'll be one down.
They'll be one down now for a period of time.
Vital. Well, that's Mark Norford, the winger, who's been sent to the far end, to the sin bin, as it were. And so it's 6 against 7. Queensland have to hold out desperately. Haslam dives through, but he's touched in midair. And so the tactics here, I imagine, will be to take the ball up the centre a couple of times, suck in the defence, and then try and create the gap out wide, Mike.
Yeah, it's very, very important not to rush things now. They've got the player off for a period of time. The gap will come.
Gap should come if they keep their heads. There's Ayoub. He's over the line from dummy half. He has to pass to someone. He's found someone. Vicky Campbell. Thank you. 2-all. Or was it Vicky? It's Catherine Lockhead. Catherine Lockhead was out there on the wing in number 8. Well done. She kept her head. And Sam Ayoub set it up. So there's the 2 stars on camera. Let's see it again.
Notice Sam didn't rush things, just picked his time, picked his player, and hit Catherine Lockhead for an easy touchdown.
So what a finish we'll have here to the mixed open final. And if the game does go into extra time, we'll have an extra 10 minutes each way. And sudden death. First to score will win after that. 10 minutes each way if no score occurs. If no score occurs in extra time, the game goes to the team with the highest rank into the final, which would be New South Wales. 5 minutes to go in the open mixed final. 2-2 the score. Touchdowns by Little and Trineri for Queensland and Gregory and Lockhead for New South Wales.
Queensland still with 6 players, so the situation's very, very crucial for them to hold on.
So how must Mark Norford feel, knowing that he's cost his team that last touchdown? Still Queensland are attacking. They'll obviously make the most of every 6 touches that they have here to use up the time till they get Mark Norford back in their playing lineup again. What would be the ultimate time that Norford would be given, Judy?
Usually they look at a period of 5 minutes.
Well, it must be close to 5. Getting that way soon. 4 minutes left in this final. Sam Ayoub. Good probing work by New South Wales. Ayoub holding the ball. Finds Gregory. Gregory, a quick roll ball. Ayoub. Cut out pass. Out to Ray Kiley. Kiley's found Hammond. There's Simmons. He's beaten one. No. Referee's called the touch. Great work from Keith Trineri.
Great touch. Great touch.
He was the one who saved the touchdown before in controversial circumstances. Wiegman rolling it back. There's Wiegman again, number 11. Yates. Pettis.
And notice Yates just slowing the play right down, just making good yardage. Nice, simple stuff.
Good player, isn't he? He's nice and cool.
Very cool player.
And seemingly tireless. You notice these fellas like Simmons for New South Wales, who is everywhere, just does the job, doesn't drop the ball, keeps his head. Hammond. It's Tracy Arnott, number 7.
With only a couple of minutes to go, Queensland still with 6 players. New South Wales need to take advantage of that situation.
Well, that's the most severe penalty. I think the Queenslanders are asking the referee, can they bring their man back? Yes, he's just been indicated he can come back. So, Mark Norford back on the sideline, and a replacement's come on, and I don't imagine Mark Norford will get on the field again after being disgraced. 2-2 the score. 3 minutes left. Breeze behind New South Wales. Don't forget, if it's 2-2 at full time, we'll go into extra time, 10 minutes each way. And then it'll be a case of survival of the fittest. Now, what's happening here, Mike?
Just on the run sort of caution from the referee to the New South Wales captain.
Is that Simmons? Captain?
Certainly is, yes.
He's a good captain. Great play by New South Wales. They're looking dangerous again. Russell. Simmons has thrown the dummy and scooted over, but I think he's been touched by number 10, Anthony Douglas.
Yes, and he's complained.
And he's been penalised for running on after the touch. He's been given time.
What happens if the referee can't exactly see it, Jude, but the player has said, I touched him, and the one with the ball says, I didn't? He didn't.
The call always goes with the defender. When they're in doubt, the referees must pay the touch.
Right. Good run from Mianoshin. He's got a bit of pace, number 7.
Situation's been reversed now. Queensland with 7, New South Wales with 6 players.
So Simmons is banished to the sin bin with only a minute left. Well, that's bad news for New South Wales. Queensland desperate for possession, but it's New South Wales ball, so they'll just make the most of these 6 touches and try and play for that extra time, 10 minutes each way. There you see, they're not going to risk anything, just take it up. take it up. Perhaps on the last they might try and score, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just accepted the 6. There we are, 5 gone. And Sutton running it around a bit, but 1 person down, so not much point really. Just using up time. 30 seconds until full time, and it's 2-all. Now Queensland have got 30 seconds to make the most of this 1-person advantage. Can they do it? Yates, Trineri, quick roll ball. Pettit's out wide. She gets the ball, or Cole it is. 10 metres from halfway. 15 seconds to go. Yates, there's the full-time siren, so it's 2-all, and we go into 10 minutes extra time each way. 5 minutes, is it? Each way extra time. So I've just been informed it's going to be 5 minutes each way extra time, not 10. And look at Queensland's pace they've started with. They're desperate to try and get this first touchdown. Yates, only a couple of metres out from the line. Quick play of the ball. And the Blues defence equal to the task.
Real notion of sudden death here. First touchdown, and it's all over.
That's the way they're going to play it, Mike, is it? So we are into sudden death?
Exactly right, yep.
Right, so that explains why I thought they were going to go 5 minutes each way, but it is sudden death, so they might as well go all out. Well, that adds another element, doesn't it? Nothing like sudden death. Certainly it works well in golf or in tennis with the tiebreaker. And in touch, the team to score first here wins it. After 50 minutes of hard touch football, it comes down to this sudden death. Mianoshin for Queensland, 10 metres inside the Blues half. Mianoshin turning it back inside. Final touch, and Douglas is... No, he's not. I thought he would be caught. He's managed to slip the ball away, but there's the touch made by Ayoub. And in fact, 10-metre penalty, is it, Chief?
10-metre penalty. Queensland threw the ball away instead of giving it over.
Sutton. Haslam. Ayoub. What a sidestep he's got. Haslam. Russell. Very clever, these 3 players in the centre for New South Wales, just working the ball around, probing. Final touch now. So good defence, Queensland. Their chance now. 6 touches they have. Mianoshin. Pettis. Barbrovic. It's Douglas. Final touch. Oh, no. Pettis had no chance of getting that. So it's really survival of the fittest, Mike, isn't it? They're just going to keep up this pace until somebody just isn't equal to the task.
That's right. It'll be 1 mistake and the game's over. The championship's been lost. So it's New South Wales back to their first half.
He's the danger man, Ayoub. That pass looked forward.
Yes, it was.
The idea was good, running wide and turning the ball back in to create the gap. See the quick rotation of players. Queensland for attack. It's almost like gridiron. They're bringing on the attacking side and the defensive side. Well, there's Norford, the man who was sent off for 5, number 14. He's got plenty of pace. Look at the speed. Great touch by Sutton, number 11. Bit of a hothead, Mark Norford. Yates, Trineri. Weightman, Trineri. Norford's held on to the ball. 1 to go. Trineri, Norford couldn't handle it. He was under a lot of pressure. So Blues ball. I imagine a lot of talking goes on out there. We can't hear it up here, but everyone will be yelling out yours or mine or I've got number 3 or whatever.
Certainly, communication's very, very important in defence and in attack also. But defence, absolutely important. A bit like basketball, one-on-one game. You've got someone to defend, you must mark up them.
And if you've missed them, you let everyone know straight away, I imagine.
Exactly right.
Trineri's pass looked a bad one. It was forward, and it was too hard and high. So, signs of fatigue there from the Queenslanders. 2 all the score. Sudden death in this open mixed final. Ayub. Inside 20 metres now. Richards playing it to Simmons, and an incorrect play of the ball. A roll ball as it's termed. Weigman. Hinton. Cole. Mick Hunter having a run, number 9. Eddie Weigman. Quick hands from Hunter to Hinton. Final touch. Weigman looking for the support out wide. If they could have got it over the top, was a chance. I think New South Wales are looking much more dangerous in possession at the moment, Mike.
Certainly are. They seem to be the better side.
That's the end of the first period of extra time. 5 minutes gone, so they'll swap sides. And we've got 5 minutes to go in this thriller of an open mixed final. It was 2 all at full time. And they've got 5 minutes of touch left. So ringing in the changes, both teams. Number 7's coming on, Tracy Arnott for the Blues. There's Sam Ayub.
You see a very unusual setup here with all the New South Wales players centred in the middle of the field.
Could see the up the jumper trick.
Very, very
similar in this game, of course.
Not quite, no.
Well, that's interesting, the way they've done it. It's a set move. Just keep running on. Look at this. Yes, Mazzarella's in. It's worked. What a touchdown that was. It worked. A set move. I never thought I'd see that work. Look at them.
Extremely happy, New South Wales.
They've gone berserk. Let's have a look at this again. It was a terrific move. The idea, obviously, is just like having a dummy half running in rugby league and keep the dummy half running. Here we go, from head on.
Exactly. You'll notice the girls, and again, the 3 girls taking the ball up. The defenders have hung off Julie Mazzarella. She's gone straight through the gap and sprinted about 15 metres to put the ball down. And that's the National Championships for New South Wales once again. Well, Gary, very, very exciting win.
Mate, I'll tell you what, it was one of the hardest games I've ever played in. And full credit to Queensland. They pushed us all the way and we're actually in front. You know, they came back extremely hard, and it was just the efforts from my boys and girls that carried on and got the win for us.
Certainly seemed to be a game where two distinct halves. You first seemed to fall away in the second half.
Yeah, well, it's hard to keep, going 100% all the time. They put a lot of pressure on us, and we kept fighting back, but, they're a great mob. It's hard just to keep going all that time.
Yeah, so I think very, very important. The girls, very important, your win.
Oh, very much so. You've got to play with 7 players. You can't just play with your 4 guys all the time. Girls will make your extra yards for you because they don't think they're going to have a run, and we've got some quick players and very talented players there, and, that was great.
All right, thanks very much, Gary. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.